All right, good morning, everybody. Jeremy Brunansky here. It's Monday morning. It's 10 a.m. PST. This is a different background. I'm still on the road. We're going to wait for that green light real quick from YouTube, and then we are going to go ahead and get this thing started. We have got a lot to talk about this week. I actually got out to see the movie. We're going to talk about what I was doing at Yellowstone and why I was filming there. So stay tuned. I'm going to go ahead and check to see if we've got a good, strong connection to YouTube, and then we will roll the intro, and we will get this week's brand new episode started. So let me take a look here. Looks like we are good. So let's get that intro rolling and we'll be right back. All right, good morning, everybody. I'm Jeremy Brunansky. This is Brunansky's Vlog live on YouTube. It's Monday morning. It's 10 a.m. PST. We are ready to talk some movies, movie news, movie reviews, and a little bit more. So we're going to go ahead and jump into that. Before we do that, let's just go ahead and get some of the commercials out of the way. If you aren't, make sure you're following us on Twitter at Brunansky's Vlog. That's where you'll see a lot of the updates and everything like that happening throughout the week. So follow us there on Twitter. Also, make sure you're following us on Stardust. I know for Stardust, that's where I do all my movie trailer reviews. I haven't kept up with that because of the travel schedule and trying to get the movie trailer reviews up and everything like that. Just haven't fallen behind. We'll be back on track with that real soon, though. Don't worry. So be sure you're following us on Stardust. It's an app. You can download it. All my movie trailer reviews hit Stardust. Also, if you're new to the channel, thank you so much. We talk movie news, movie reviews, and a little bit more every Monday right here on YouTube at 10 a.m. PST. So make sure you click the subscribe button. And if at any point you enjoy the content, give me the thumbs up, because the thumbs up helps people who like movie-related shows find this movie-related show right here on YouTube. So we have got a lot to talk about. And if you're a returning visitor or a returning subscriber or a returning viewer, thank you so much. Now, we have got a lot to talk about this week. We got some pretty cool news stories, I think, that we're going to look at. Plus, I was able to get out to the theater to see one film, Mission Impossible Fallout. Really enjoyed that. It's going to be a different format for the review, so stay tuned for that. That'll be later in the show. After that, we'll take a look at what's hitting theaters this week, what's arriving on DVD and VOD for your home theater this week. Finally, Certified Rad. We have a pretty cool story. It's not really people helping people. It's not tech gear. It's not a book review. It's nothing like that. It's just a really cool story about how one guy set his mind to a goal. He accomplished it, and then he set a brand new world record as well. Not only did he accomplish his goal, he set a world record. So stay tuned to later in the show for that. But last week, we missed it. We missed a weekly episode. I was traveling. So thank you to everybody who sent me messages, was like, hey, what's going on? I thought I communicated it in the last weekly episode we had, but when I went back and watched that episode that we did from the hotel I was at in Yellowstone, boy, that hotel Wi-Fi was not great, and the connection was really choppy. It just didn't communicate very well. So my apologies to everybody about that. Can't really control the hotel Wi-Fi. Not sure why the hotel Wi-Fi wanted to be a guest host on the last episode 2 weeks ago. But here at my cousin's house, I think we have a much better connection here for Wi-Fi, so we should be having a much better stream. So hopefully everything is coming across clear. Everything is concise. It's not choppy. It makes sense. And I'm getting the information to you guys so that you can keep the conversation going in the comment section below. But let's talk about Yellowstone real quick. That was a lot of fun. Had to shoot a short film up there for a competition that Rode Microphones was putting on. And that was the first time I'd ever shot a film. First time I've ever shot a documentary, any type of film. So it was a really cool learning experience. I put the link for that video in the description below. So just hit the little arrow, expand that. You can click on the link. It'll take you right to that short film. It's only 3 minutes because that was the rules for the competition. It's got to be 3 minutes or less. So really quick, it'll give you a really cool, nice look at Yellowstone National Park. And I also do a nice narration that covers why Yellowstone Park and the history of Yellowstone Park personifies the spirit of America and the American go-get-'em attitude. So I'm really proud of it. It's my first thing, so obviously it's not perfect. There's some editing things and some coloring, and I had to speed the dialogue up to make it fit within that time frame. So it's a little rushed, but we got it up, we got it done, and I'm still proud of it. So check it out. Again, I threw the link for that down below. There was a lot of hiking, a lot of driving. I'm pretty sure I lost some weight on that trip from carrying my camera gear bag around the mountains as I'm going up and down the mountains, but a lot of fun. Check it out. Also, like I said, I'm still on the road. It's been a lot of fun. And I was actually able to get some work done up here as well. My cousin, she's got a women's retreat that she's doing, because she does like meditation and healing and stuff like that. And one of the ladies in her town that also does that, who's a life coach, they've got a women's retreat coming up to kind of help women with spirituality and meditation and stuff like that. So I was able to actually help them shoot a promotional video for the retreat they have. So I was able to get even more work done up here while on a little holiday. So that was nice. I threw their websites as well down below. So if you're watching this and you're a lady and you're into spiritual healing and meditation and all of that stuff, you're going to want to check out their websites and then stay tuned for their retreat, because it's going to be coming up. And those are down below. It's I Meditate and then also Amanda Moser. So check those out. Those links are available down below. My cousin, obviously awesome. And then the lady that she's working with, I had a chance to talk with her and kind of hang out as we were shooting this little promotional video. And she's super nice too. So two nice people trying to help people. So check it out. Check out their websites. Again, everything down below in the description box. All right, we're going to go ahead now and jump into this week's episode. Like I said, we got a lot to talk about. We're going to take a look at the weekend box office. I told you what I saw, Mission Impossible Fallout. Let's go ahead and take a look at what you guys saw right now. All right, so down below you'll see we got the ticker tape running. Those are for the honorable mentions, basically just news stories that popped off. I was like, that's kind of cool, but I didn't really want to dig too deep into it on this week's show. So just stay tuned down below. Keep your eyes on that. That'll give you some other stories as we go along. And as always, you know that the articles for what we're going to discuss are in the description box below. If you're new, hit that button, expand the description box. All the links are right there. Coffee break. All right, let's get into it. This weekend, what did you guys see? We're going to take a look at the weekend box office from number 5 all the way up to number 1. So right now, coming in at number 5, we have Equalizer 2 at $8,830,000. Mamma Mia 2 here, or Mamma Mia, Here We Go at $9,090,000. The Spy Who Dumped Me, $12,350,000. Disney's Christopher Robin at $25,003,000, and Mission Impossible Fallout still taking the number 1 spot in its second week at $35 million even. So I'm not sure most people are going to be too surprised by the top 5 in general. What films are in the top 5? I think some people might be surprised that in its second week, Mission Impossible is still number 1. Having just seen it, I'm not surprised, but I haven't seen Christopher Robin. I plan on seeing that this week. The Spy Who Dumped Me, Mamma Mia 2, Here We Go, or Mamma Mia, Here We Go Again, The Equalizer 2. These are all films I want to get out to see for different reasons, right? Each one looks like it's going to be entertaining. Each one looks like it's going to have a really good story to tell, whether it's for laughs, whether it's for action, whether it's for music, whether it's for stories of like growing older, but not forgetting who you are deep down inside. There's lots of great content right now in the theaters for the summer as we kind of get ready to wind down that summer vibe, right? As we get ready to move into the more thought-provoking human pieces that we get from Oscar season, you know, late in the fall and stuff like that. So what we got here, we got Mission Impossible Fallout. I really liked, like I said, I'm going to give you my review for that later in the show after the news. It's going to be a little different format than what you're used to, but I'm still going to get you the goods. Don't worry. And then Disney's Christopher Robin. Like I said, looking forward to this film. It looks like it's a really great heartfelt piece about kind of like growing older, but still trying to maintain who you are inside without losing yourself to all of the corporateness that can go on in life as we get older and we work these jobs and everything else. So pretty pumped to see that. Spy Who Dumped Me looks like it's going to be funny. I don't really have high expectations for it as far as like a knock it out of the park, like Central Intelligence with The Rock and Kevin Hart. That movie surprised me at how genuinely funny it was, as well as how much I enjoyed the story. I'm hoping The Spy Who Dumped Me will be similar to that, but I can't say for certain yet. So fingers crossed it is as enjoyable as Central Intelligence and we can all have a good laugh and enjoy some spy action spoofiness. Mamma Mia, Here We Go Again. If you're subscribed to this channel, you know that I just watched Mamma Mia all the way through for the first time on DVD, Blu-ray. Threw it up on the channel. It's in the DVD, Blu-ray review. So you can go ahead and check out my thoughts on the first Mamma Mia. And now I'm looking forward to this one. I like the music of ABBA. I like that whole vibe. I enjoy musicals in general. I used to perform in musicals. So, like, yeah, I'm down for Mamma Mia, Here We Go Again. I got a lot of female cousins. They're pretty pumped about this, so I'm sure all the women in the family are going to be taking me out to see Mamma Mia, Here We Go Again, and I'm fine with that because I'm hoping it's good. Equalizer 2, Denzel's first sequel ever. Not surprised that's still in the top 5. The Equalizer was a really good action flick. The trailers lead me to believe that this is going to deliver on the same type of action revenge goodness that we got from the first film. So pretty pumped to see The Equalizer 2, and I'm happy to see that here in its third week, it's still in the top 5. So I want to get out and see that as well. Just real quick, rounding out the top 10 before we move on to the first news topic, we have Teen Titans Go to the movies, Incredibles 2, The Darkest Minds, Ant-Man and the Wasp, and Hotel Transylvania 3 Summer Vacation. Darkest Minds coming in the top 10 in its first week, so job well done to everybody involved with that film. Teen Titans Go to the movies, still want to check that out. Incredibles 2, loved it. And Ant-Man and the Wasp, actually at the movie theater I went to, they have these little Marvel keychains, so I was able to pick up a little Ant-Man keychain at the movies. So hopefully my keys won't get lost now because I don't have a keychain. My keys are just like there. So now I have a keychain. So hopefully I won't lose my keys, which would be pretty awesome. All right, let's go ahead and move into the first news story of the day. This one is a little different. I had to do some research on it because I was unfamiliar with the story, like most people, I'm sure, because I didn't know anything about this. But this is coming to us from the Hollywood Reporter. Again, all of these in the description box below. Click the link so you can follow along with us as we go through the stories. Also, leave your comments in the comment section about the stories if you have any thoughts. Ben Affleck and Matt Damon paid $1 million for the McDonald's Monopoly scam story. So LA-based crime writer Jeff Maish, I hope I said that right, explains how he stumbled into the bizarre world of Big Macs, mobsters, and FBI agents. A story so irresistible, it sold for 7 figures. That's right there. That's a little excerpt right out of the article. Again, check it out. Right below that, I have the actual article that he wrote that kind of kicked this whole story off for auctioning, or for bidding rather, to see who wanted to get the rights to tell the story. So that's a pretty long article. I just read it right before the show. It's pretty good. It gives you a lot more detail into kind of what was going on. So this guy who Uncle Jerry, as he's referred to in the article, he had a pretty weird life. Things like he had goals that didn't work out. And then he kind of got an opportunity to kind of work with McDonald's and head up the security for the Monopoly game pieces. And he kind of went rogue. Like he went rogue with it, started selling pieces and stuff like that. The article, like I said, kind of long, but really good if you want to read the full piece that he wrote on this story. The Hollywood Reporter article, much more concise because it's just about who got the rights to the film. So check both of them out. But it sounds like it's going to be a really interesting story with Matt Damon and Ben Affleck coming on board to try and like make this work. In the article, it talks about how the guy from Argo is also going to help writing it. So we got some strong talent coming in to really kind of flesh this story out and make it a real good human piece. I'm not sure how much of the backstory they're going to really explain. I think it would be wise for them to do so, to really give us an understanding of like what happened in this guy's life that led him all the way up to, you know, eventually getting caught. Like what was the transition for him? Because at the beginning of the article, it starts off and it talks about how he was like, he wanted to be in the military. He wanted to be a cop. Health and life just said, nope. And then it goes off the walls and off the rails from there. So like seeing that transition, I think would be really cool on like a human-centered piece and a human-focused piece. So I'm looking forward to seeing more from this story, who they cast, who's going to be coming along to play the undercover FBI agents, who's going to be coming along to play the different fortune tellers that this guy is working with to try and like move all of these pieces around the country. Why did he save documents for himself to show that Canada wasn't going to be getting any of the winnings? Like crazy stuff for, and again, McDonald's Monopoly. Who would have thought? This story is bananas. Really looking forward to this story. Check it out. Like I said, both the articles are in the description box below. Really looking forward to seeing more from this. Like I said, human-centered piece, the transition of a man who like wanted to do the right thing, right? Military, he wanted to be a cop, he wanted to be in the military. Health and life said no. And then like he eventually works other jobs, comes into this position, and then just goes off the rail. Pretty crazy stuff. Looking forward to it. Hope you guys have some thoughts. If you do, comment section. All right, next up, this is coming to us from Deadline. The DOJ is the Department of Justice here in the States. I'm not in the States right now, but the Department of Justice in the States is going to review Paramount consent decrees governing how studios distribute movies to theaters. Now, this all came into play time and time again. As you go through the article, you'll see that things have come up before where they're like, look, we've got to kind of revamp the distribution process because it goes all the way back to the 30s and 40s, according to the article, and kind of how studios were moving films around. And lately, they've been having issues, and they're going to be taking a look at protected competition with the antitrust division to make sure that the decrees and everything like that are open-ended for some of these distributions. So in the article, it mentions a couple of different things, like block booking, which is bundling multiple films into a single theater license. So basically, the theater would buy a license for, like, let's just say Mission Impossible Fallout, right? Big summer blockbuster. Everybody's looking forward to it. And then the studio looks at the theaters and goes, okay, cool. We'll give you the license to put Mission Impossible Fallout in your theater. But within that, you're also going to have to play these films. So maybe smaller titles that they would have a harder time selling to theaters, right? Because the theater's got to pay money to get those films to put in their theater, to bring people in, to buy the tickets, to get concessions, to make the business work. So they want to bring in films that are going to bring people in, right? Summer blockbusters, the big mega films that produce over $100 million, opening weekend, right? The Avengers films, the Star Wars films, Mission Impossible, Fast and Furious, Jurassic Park movies, these type of big tentpole films, that's what they want to bring in. So it makes sense that they would want to bundle that, but now they're taking a look at it and going, well, is it right that you are forcing these theaters to play these other films as well? Yes or no, right? They're going to take a look at that. So I think it might be good to just take a look at that and revisit that, but I'm not really sure how much is going to come from that. So we'll have to wait and see as far as that's concerned. But it's interesting. It's interesting. The next one that they have is going to be called circuit dealing, which is entering into a license that covers all theaters in a circuit. Now, when this originally started, right, we didn't really have chains of theaters. And then because again, going back to the golden age of Hollywood, right, the 30s and 40s. So then as time grew on, you have Cinemark, you have AMC, you've got Harkins theaters, right? So you have these chains, if you will, chains of theaters all putting out the same films because they're owned by the same company. And this one was curious to me because if you sell the license for, again, we'll just use Mission Impossible Fallout to Cinemark or AMC theaters, and they've got X amount of theaters in an area, it makes sense that they would only have to pay for one license for all their theaters because as far as I know, those theaters aren't franchised, right? You can't buy an AMC theater as far as I know. I could be wrong. If I'm wrong, let me know definitely so I can look into that. But as far as I know, AMC owns AMC theaters and it's not like, Todd Johnson down the road can franchise an AMC theater, making it his theater, even though he has to abide by their code of conduct and everything like that. So for AMC theaters in general, just to say, look, we're going to get Mission Impossible Fallout. Okay, here's the license for all your theaters. That makes sense to me. But again, if it was franchised, then I could understand why, Todd Johnson and Steven Stevenson and Amanda Amanderson, like all three of them would have to get their own licenses for those films in their theaters because it's franchised. But since that's not the case, I'm kind of confused as to why they're looking at this going, well, AMC theaters, you might need to actually pay for the license for every single theater that you want to put that film in. I think that would hurt the box office. I think that would hurt us as viewers, because if AMC actually has to, or any theater, really any theater chain, has to pay to license their film in every single one of their theaters, that's really going to add up. And I think less movies are going to get out to less theaters, which would definitely be a bummer. So I'm not sure that that really is the best thing to look at, because I think it makes sense in my head as to why, since it's not a franchise, AMC would just be able to buy the license for all their theaters. And then the last one they talk about is, where is it at? Sorry. And then the last one is a resale price maintenance, setting minimum prices on movie tickets. I mean, that's not really that big of a deal because as far as I know, gasoline, like if you want to own a gas station, like there's certain requirements that you can't sell your gas below a certain price. So, I mean, it's already like, that's already a thing that happens in other business industries. So why wouldn't that happen in this industry? Like the theaters, like they sell the movie and they're like, okay, you can't sell tickets for less than this amount. I don't see why that's a big deal. But apparently someone is bored, maybe, and they're like, look, we need to have some work. We need to find something to do. So now they're digging around and they're trying to find work to do. And some of these things with film. So we'll have to take a look and wait and see. Sound off below. Let me know what you think about this. Is, AMC having to is AMC possibly losing the ability to purchase the license for all of their theaters? Like it says here with circuit dealing, if I'm understanding it correctly, a good thing or a bad thing, let me know. I'm not saying that's going to happen. Again, this is just us talking because we don't really have that much information because this news just broke. So we'll have to wait and see kind of what the DOJ is going to be doing with these, I don't want to say investigations, but with these topics that they're looking into. So let me know in the comments below. All right, last news story is coming to us here from Cinema Blend. It's about why Mark Maron joined Joaquin Phoenix's Joker movie. Now, I haven't seen Glow on Netflix. I know a lot of people have. A lot of people have been really enjoying it. It's getting really high praise online. And he's in that show. So I'm not surprised. When you say, here's a film, and it stars Joaquin Phoenix, and Todd Phillips is going to be directing it, and Zazie Beetz is in it, and Robert De Niro is coming in, why wouldn't you want to be part of that film if you're an actor, right? And if you have a problem, and in the article it talks about how he's kind of, Mark Maron has kind of been poo-pooing on, the degradation of film because of superhero films, etc. But he also kind of course corrects, or maybe not even course corrects, but he definitely takes a different position, a different stance as to why this film appeals to him. And it made sense to me because, like I said, Robert De Niro, Zazie Beetz, Joaquin Phoenix, like you've got all of this great talent, and why wouldn't you want to be a part of something that has as much potential as this has? Now, initially when, the news broke that they're like, we're going to be making a separate solo Joker film that has nothing to do with the universe, I was like, that's kind of weird. But if it works, it works. What do I care? I don't need every single film being part of the same extended universe. I like going to the movies to see good films, good movies, good stories, whether it's an action movie, whether it's a drama, whether it's a comedy, whether it's a thriller, whatever. I don't care. When I go see Christopher Robin, I'm not somehow expecting that to be connected to every other Disney movie that they put out that year. I don't care. But I just want a good story. If it's a good story, great. If you want to connect it into your little shared cinematic universe, that's cool too. Just tell me a good story. Tell me a good story. So having Mark Maron come on, I think, is a really, really interesting choice that I'm looking forward to seeing more from, like what he's going to be playing, what role is he going to have, how is Robert De Niro going to play into everything, who is Zazie Beetz going to be as far as the Joker's character, like how is that relationship going to go, what's the influence, is there even going to be an influence, or is she just going to be like an outside spectator kind of narrating the story about what she sees of this guy? We don't know. Really pumped to see more from that though. So we'll have to wait and see. But let me know in the comments, what do you think about the Joker film now that we're kind of seeing who's coming on board to work this? Are you more excited than you were when the news initially broke? Are you still confused? Do you not even want to see it? Let me know what you think. I'm interested, and I'm actually interested in reading your thoughts. So throw those in the comments section below. All right, we are going to move now into the next segment, which is going to be the movie review. And again, I was able to get out to see Mission Impossible Fallout. So we're going to take a look at my thoughts on Mission Impossible Fallout, now in its second week, still a #1 spot. So let's go ahead and take a look right now. Again, this is going to be a little different format because I'm not at the office, I'm not at the studio to get the green screen and everything like that. So it's going to be a little different format, but I'm still going to get you the information on my thoughts for Mission Impossible Fallout. So let's go ahead and cut to that right now. All right, so Mission Impossible Fallout. The franchise began in 1996, and for over a decade, we have seen Ethan Hunt do the impossible. Time and time again, Ethan and team have been taking on criminal mastermind after criminal mastermind in life and death situations for the world and themselves. The stakes are always high in these adventures that span the globe. So, does Mission Impossible Fallout deliver on the summer blockbuster awesomeness we've come to expect from this franchise, or should we disavow this film? Let's talk about it in this review. Let's be honest with each other here. This franchise continues to deliver the goods. It's been over 10 years, and I can't say with 100% confidence they've had a miss. Some folks might disagree and say Mission Impossible 2 was a definite miss, but I'm not completely sold on that notion anymore. In fact, they even have a nice callback to that film in this most recent story. Near the end, we see Ethan, Tom Cruise, trying to scale the mountain/cliff, which is also what he did in the second movie. However, in this story, he's trying to save the day. He's not on holiday, so there's that. Overall, the premise continues to keep us engaged, and the familiar faces and new characters continue to build on this world in unexpected, exciting, and sometimes comedic ways. Speaking of familiar faces, this might be the most comfortable I've seen Tom Cruise and Ving Rhames in these roles. Simon Pegg continues to deliver humorous moments, and he has been expanding his role on the team nicely, from a tech analyst to field agent. But it's Tom and Ving who really appear to be relaxed and comfortable in their roles now 6 films in. Plus, we get one big surprise with Michelle Monaghan's character, but was it really that surprising? These films are famous for telling us exactly what will happen without telling us how it will happen. And it's in this form of storytelling that we are truly giving something special to enjoy. The fallout of all of your good intentions is mentioned in the trailers and the movie, and then we're reminded just how hard Ethan has worked and what he has sacrificed to keep one woman safe before yet another plot twist is added. In fact, these 2 women in the story, Michelle and Rebecca Ferguson, did a great job of adding something unique and complex to the story. The layers in this film might be the very best of the franchise. We have Ethan's team, the CIA, a new terrorist group, a third-party handler and her team, local law enforcement, former lovers, car chases, motorcycle chases, boat rescues, a helicopter battle, hand-to-hand combat, betrayal, manipulation, and more. The suspense builds and builds, then resolves only to add a new twist, and then it's building and building, all the while never letting loose of the tension of the original mission that started this whole operation. Dare I say, this film puts on a masterclass for action suspense storytelling. It's one heightened moment after another without ever feeling overwhelming, and we're also treated to some nice comedic moments almost to the very end of the movie. In fact, the James Bond villain-esque "Why Won't You Just Die" line by August Walker, played by Henry Cavill, was a nice tip of the hat to the audience. We know how serious this franchise takes itself, and in this sixth story, they let us know that they know how to still have some fun. Mission Impossible Fallout is playing at your local movie theater right now, and I am definitely recommending a big screen viewing of this film. It's an action-packed thrill ride that keeps the adrenaline pumping until the very end. You don't have to have seen the other 5 films to enjoy this one, because what matters is here explained throughout the story. But if you have seen the other 5, you'll definitely enjoy this movie even more. Plus, we know that Tom Cruise does all his own stunts at his own possible peril, which continues to increase the tension of each stunt scene in this movie. Is he doing a halo jump that could cost him his life because his helmet is lit from the inside? Is falling out of, off of, or crashing a helicopter going to prevent him from enjoying the success of this franchise? Will he ever be able to jump across buildings after he broke his ankle in this film completing a stunt? It's spectacular movie-making magic that occurs, and we can say, or at least I can say, you comment below with your thoughts, that the Mission Impossible franchise might truly be one of the greatest action franchises of all time, and because of that, Mission Impossible Fallout is getting all the high fives from this guy. Mission Impossible Fallout is playing at your local movie theater right now. Go see this film. All right, and that wraps up the movie review, right? Like I said, a little different, reading from the script I wrote. Usually I'm telling you guys in front of a green screen. Don't really have that option since we're on the road traveling. Coffee break. But hey, still really enjoyed it. Still was able to give you my thoughts. Definitely recommend you guys go check it out. Again, this movie, I mean, wow. From just nonstop from start to finish. Really, really had a good time. It's just like one thing after another. And again, like I said, they know how to have a good time. This franchise has always been more on the kind of the serious side with some comedic moments. You know, ever since Simon Pegg got involved, we've seen a lot more humor kind of sprinkled and peppered throughout. But this film really does a great job of like balancing the two. I think this might be one of the best of the 6 in the franchise. This is hands down. I walked out of the theater almost celebrating just how much fun I had in the theater watching this movie. So definitely recommend you guys check it out. All right, we're going to go ahead and take a look now at what's arriving in theaters this week, what's arriving on DVD and VOD for your home theater this week, and finally, my personal favorite, Certified Rad. So let's go ahead and take a look at what movies are hitting theaters this week. In theaters this week, we have Dog Days, Slender Man, The Meg, and AXL. Out of these 4 films, the 2 films I'm looking forward to seeing are Dog Days and The Meg. Slender Man, not too familiar with this story. I know that there is some horror folks out there who are probably looking forward to this. AXL, I thought that movie was supposed to be released before and got pushed. I could be wrong. I couldn't really find anything online about that, so I may be mistaking it for another film. But hey, it's a boy and his robotic dog, so I'm sure there'll be something fun for everybody to enjoy there. But The Meg looks like it's going to be just ridiculously awesome goofball shark fun times, like everything on Shark Week. You know, it's just a good time watching sharks go crazy. And then Dog Days looks like it's going to be a really fun piece for everybody like myself who loves dogs and has loved their dog. It looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. So check out that. All right, coming up in DVD and Blu-ray. Let's go ahead and take a look at that this week for your home theaters. We have Life of the Party, Breaking In, The Rider, On Chesail Beach, and The Death of Superman. Now, The Death of Superman wasn't released in theaters. It is a DC animated film, but DC animated films have been doing a really good job with their films overall, so still recommending you guys might want to check that out if you like those types of films. I do. I have a couple of them. They're pretty good. So looking forward to Death of Superman. Life of the Party, you can see my review for that on the movie review playlist channel here on Brunansky's vlog. Didn't see Breaking In, The Rider, or On Chesail Beach. Saoirse Ronan, really talented young actress who's coming up right now, so I'm sure that she's delivering a pretty good performance there that you may want to check out. Don't really know much about The Rider. Had to research it before this episode. Still didn't know much about it even after the research. And Breaking In looks like it was just like a fun kind of don't mess with my kids, mom on a mission story. So if you got the Redbox and nearby, you may want to check that out for $1, or just pull it off of whatever streaming service you have and check it out there. All right. Excuse me. Now we're going to go ahead and move into the last topic for this week, and that is going to be my personal favorite topic, which is Certified Rad. All right, so for Certified Rad this week, we're going to take a look at a story about how one guy set his mind to a goal. He achieved the goal. Now, the article is in the description box below, and it's coming to us from the Washington Post, and it's about how a guy from the United States, from Cincinnati, Ohio, actually, decided he wanted to go from the west to the east crossing. So he had his rowboat, and he decided he was going to row across the ocean over to the UK. So what did he do? He arrived, he left the United States, or no, he left from, where is it at? Sorry. He took off from the Ocean Rowing Society in Canada and arrived in St. Mary's Harbor, which is about 2,000 miles or 3,200 kilometers, 38 days, 6 hours and 49 minutes after setting out from Newfoundland in Canada. And his boat is 20 foot or 6 meters, and it's named Lucille. So he took off from Newfoundland and arrived over in the UK, St. Mary's Harbor, over the course of 38 days, 6 hours, and 49 minutes. And he set a new world record as well. He's also the first American to do this. And the previous record was 53 days, 8 hours, and 26 minutes. So you can see how he was definitely putting in the work. He was definitely putting in the hustle, because from 38 days, from 53 days to 38 days is pretty huge. So when you set your mind to something and you're like, I've got a goal and I'm going to achieve it, and then not only do you achieve it, but you're the first person from your country to do it, and then on top of that, you set a brand new world record, I mean, you can guarantee that that is certified rad. Just setting your mind to a goal and then achieving the goal is rad. Setting your mind to a goal and then becoming the first person from your country to achieve that goal, double rad. Setting your mind to a goal, achieving that goal, becoming the first person in your country to achieve that goal, setting a brand new world record as well, triple rad. Definitely stamp it. It's certified rad. Congratulations to this gentleman from Cincinnati, Ohio, Bryce Carlson. Great job. Way to make America proud. Way to set that new world record. Way to make yourself proud for achieving your goal and being able to row in your 20-foot boat. Wow. from the Newfoundland all the way over to the UK. Incredible stuff. Again, job well done. All right, everybody, and that wraps it up for this week's brand new episode of Brunansky's Vlog. Thank you guys so much for joining again. We are on the road. Not sure what next week is going to look like if I'm going to be on the road. I do have more travel coming up, so I'm not sure what my travel schedule will be as far as a new episode goes next Monday. So stay tuned. Make sure you're tuned in to Twitter at Brunansky's Vlog, because that's where I'll be doing the updates on if we'll be able to keep that episode going that Monday morning, or if I'm going to be on the road traveling. Can't say for sure yet. So definitely stay tuned to Twitter at Brunansky's Vlog, and that's where I'll give you the updates as to whether or not next week's show will be dropping on time or not. So thank you guys so much for watching this week. I'm Jeremy Brunansky. This is Brunansky's Vlog. Leave your comments below with your thoughts on any of the topics with the movie review Certified Rad. Don't forget to check out, if you are a female watcher and you want to go to that women's retreat, go ahead and check out the 2 links down below for I Meditate and Amanda Moser. Those 2 ladies are going to be putting that on. And I got to help them with their promotional video. So both really great ladies. Like I said, one's my cousin. The other is just a lady that she works with who's equally super nice. So check it out. Also check out the documentary I shot for Yellowstone National Park. All those links are down in the description box below. If you enjoyed any portion of this, give me the thumbs up, because that helps people who like movie-related shows find this movie-related show right here on YouTube. All right, everybody, I'm going to get out of here. It is time for me to get back to doing some quick last-minute things here on the computer, and then I've got some family to hang out with and spend some time with. So have a great rest of your week. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully we'll see you next Monday if I'm not traveling, right here at 10 a.m. PST on YouTube with a brand new episode of Brunansky's Vlog. And as always, until next time, good night and good luck.